Alright, hey, hi, hello, how's it going guys? My name is ZetaRayZod and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. So, last we left off, we are kind of in the middle of a trial. Susato-san's best friend is kind of accused of murder from this British girl that we know in the very first episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. She murdered Dr. John H. Wilson, and that's apparently the motive and stuff. So now we're kind of trying to pull apart Hosonaga's statements to see if we can like give some evidence and stuff, but I'm not sure. TBH. Poison article. Sure, because light secret develop. Small amount entered by the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade. Did I read this before? I don't remember this one. Via a wound from a poison-laced blade would prove fatal in minutes. Oh shoot, my mouse is in the way, sorry. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and an acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. Apparently, an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. Okay, pulling a blade from a move, I think it could cause heavy bleeding. Is it that one? There's no good reason why the defendant would try to pull the knife out of the victim. Does it have motive? Okay, it's either the first one or the third one. There's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Okay, if I'm not mistaken from the previous episode, according to what Professor Mikotoba said, Remember Me-san was in charge of the poison. So she would know that it went missing. But this could just point to her murdering the lady though. Unless she pulled out the knife because she knew there was poison on it. I'm gonna do that. Music stop. Is that good? Now, there's one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to draw the knife from the victim's wound. What?
The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser. Tell us then, what possibility you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume unit.
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case.
But, Prosecutor Aoji, you will let the defense speak.
But a newspaper article, the court cannot rely on this kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Counsel for the defense. I'm going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency!
Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Brett's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says... deadly in tiny quantities? That was it, right? Deadly in tiny quantities? The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting? If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Remember Me-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, she poisoned her! It's not... She didn't stab her, she poisoned her! It's an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. What?
This is complete and utter nonsense.
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death is hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, that's... It's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please, this is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind.
Interesting analogy.
The poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway.
Good point. That's a very valid point. I am inclined to agree with the prosecutor. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then. The argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Why did
Grace suspect the stolen poison involved?
If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds. What?
You can't possibly.
From your expression, counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. They are indeed! I have no idea what the hell she's talking about! But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. Yes, Your Excellency.
Well aware of that. I've seen it many times, from my place at his side in the Old Bailey.
In that case, counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article? Oh shit, I don't know. Case and the poison in the newspaper article. Cursive minutes, impaired breathing, and an acute contraction of the pupils. Is it this one? Soseki Natsume. No, deadly poison use forensic science. Maybe that one? I don't know. RM. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article? Is it the first statement? How exactly would you explain this piece of evidence's connection to the newspaper article? In truth, I'm not really sure. But my father always taught me to ask my elders whenever I was in trouble. So I thought I should ask your opinion, Your Excellency. If there's advice you seek, counsel, then I suggest that before indiscriminately thrusting evidence under my nose, or not thrusting under the nose of the professor at your side. I think he means you. Good grief. Thrusting that under my nose isn't going to solve anything here. We must use our heads. The article in the paper had details of the toxin. Now, where have we seen similar details? Does nowhere come to mind? Oh, you mean I ought to search through all the evidence looking for that? No, it has not. Not at all. Extreme meiosis, there you go. Is it? I'm assuming meiosis means dilation of the pupils? Yeah. I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the postmortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim is noted in the postmortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Well,
under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes. That's true. That's why when they check to see if you're conscious, they like shine a light in your eye to see if your pupil constricts or not. And yeah, when you die, your pupil dilates. When it dilates, it means it gets bigger. So, yeah. It is unusual because she's dead and her pupil constricted instead. Very strange.
What are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute contraction at the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils in Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely. Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt. There could be other medical conditions, though. Prosecutor Aochi, I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence.
You, yokel student, yokel professor!
Yokel's his favorite word, isn't it? I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No.
Yujin Mikotoba. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe you're best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please. It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic, sorry. Sorry, my words. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace and he reads of it in a newspaper.
I take full responsibility for incompetence of my supervision. Father.
A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded. Oh. Remember me, son. None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault. Hey. Remember me, son. Stand accused her. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated. But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day. What? So you knew? I've been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Why didn't you let me know immediately? Why didn't you? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So, I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was. The thief? You don't mean... Yes, of course. It was that dainty Englishwoman. Miss Giselle Brett? That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me, as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison. I can't remember the voice I gave. Well now, whatever do you mean? And then, she suddenly got to her feet, before falling to her knees in front of me, and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes had shrunk to tiny pinpoints. How would you have noticed, unless you like bent down and look at her face? The first thing you would have done would be... What would a normal person have done in that situation? She collapsed on the floor. I assume she collapsed face first, so she would see the knife in the back. Why would she be looking at the pupil? It's just a game. I don't believe it. In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison. My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I'd been with her. Which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. The blade of the knife in her back. And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade. Yes. If the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, so sorry for staying silent all this time. Oh. Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I've duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end. Thank you, Your Excellency. It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Memami-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
Good point also. Well, but then again, like, we also, during Soseki's, like, trial, like, a woman got stabbed because a knife flew out a window. Like, I can't put anything behind this.
You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you? Do you?
Oh. I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it. You'll produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Aochi.
Perhaps some praise is too young, Yoko student.
What?
I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this on yourself.
Looks like she's pulling it out. Who took this photo?
Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air in that beach is almost palpable.
Sorry, who took the photo?
This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Memami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true, no! I don't believe it. Ah! Dude, who took the photo? Order! Order, order! Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for the shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice is yet to break. Is Yoko's slow of mind and slow to mature.
I'll show you who's slow to mature. Careful now, Sasato's starting to show a face here. It's often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence. I can't believe he's had a photograph like that up in his sleeve the entire time. Who took the damn photo? This is... Why couldn't the person who took this photo stab the lady? Such a stark image, I'm generally lost for words. Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took that photograph? Yeah.
Really? That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention.
Oh. That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony. Ah! Good point. I will uphold the defense's demand. That's an excellent point. What a dumbass the prosecutor is. That person took a photograph and is obviously, he or she is obviously a witness. What the hell?
It's that important.
What an idiot. Prosecution revealed the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday. But there's nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
Goodness. Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in Supreme Court? When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence, you yokel student blabbing professor! What matters is the plain truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound. Clearly, this isn't the moment that the knife is plunged into the victim's back, but...
the moment it was withdrawn? Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim, and the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear. Oh no. Sato, this is the time for you to fight. Go beat up the prosecutor. If what you've established so far is true, there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim. Yeah, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Taketsuchi Aochi in a court of law.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be clues somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it. Well, counsel? Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph, and the truth is... Is it the person with the pen? I'm gonna say I do know the answer. I'm gonna say it's the person with the pen. This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with an answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming.
Did you really believe you could? However, I'm able to present evidence. The defense is a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, counsel, present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mysterious photographer? The piece of evidence in question is this. It's not counsel that when presenting evidence, you must learn to temper those wide, nervous eyes. It's not the pen? Ah, why? I thought it was the pen. Squeeze your head in your hands again, counsel. Punish your court. Okay. Hold on. Where was this photo taken anyway? I thought it'd be the pen. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Is it this? Nope. Shit, I don't know. I got 2 more chances. I don't know. I thought it'd be the pen. Is it the photograph? I don't think it's the photograph. Actually, who wrote this article? Exclusive. It's not. That's actually a good question. How did the... You know what? I think it's the reporter. Cause you remember when Saseki is doing his flamboyant shit, then this reporter comes along and takes photos? What if he did it? Because he was there during the time the poison that the poison was stolen, because I think he was the guy that took the photo and the art. I think he wrote this article. He wrote this article because it was stolen. Yeah, I think it was stolen when Soseki was there, and then I guess he took the photo as well. But how do I prove that? I don't know. Might not even be. I got one more chance. What do I do? Pen didn't work. Poison article didn't work. I think that's it. Yep. Oh, that's over. Can I just skip all this? Come on, come on, come on! Guilty! I don't know. Shit, did I already do that? I already did that, didn't I? Ooh. Damn, 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 damn. I feel like I presented everything. Did I present the poison article? Oh wait, I didn't. Wait, I did. Did I? Which article did I present? I presented that. I think I presented the poison. This one? What is that? The newspaper again? Raucous England returnees tell all. It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph. If you look at it closely, you'll notice that there's some white line. I thought that was familiar. You know, I'm right. I'm freaking right. That's the same person who took this photograph. I see. So I'm right, but my evidence is wrong. Yes, indeed. They had already caught my eye, as it happens.
Ha, what of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably. Found the branches of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside the laboratory at the university, I can assure you. Now, if you look closely at this photograph... Good gracious. Yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, for the branches of the tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Council. What's quite remarkable about it is that the two parents are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired? A curious matching pattern that appears in both photographic prints is a result of a camera defect. Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With the photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched, and that the scratched lens caused unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device. In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Aochi, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
Newspaper? Oh.
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What?
Mini memo! What? I see what you would call the raucous England returnee.
What are you yelling about? You already testified.
It's many memo, I tell you. Many memo! Whoa! Saseki-san, what was that? Did you say many memo? Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move. A reporter by the name of Writing many memo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk. Ah,
Now that he mentions it.
I knew that guy was important. Oh look, he's got ink on his hand. I'm sure that's relevant. That's his pen. Wait a minute, what's his name again? Writing many memo. RM. Ah. A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with writing many memo. So you're saying that this picture is taken by many memo? Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire. Officer, find his newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom. We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. As you say, Your Excellency.
And one more thing. I want this knife, this murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. We will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Meh.
Ooh.
Many memo!
Meh. Nice. Okay, things are heating up. To be continued. Is it the reporter? You guys think? I don't know. I think it might be. Just looking for some tea because he's bored or something. Looking for that hot scoop. This one. And then back. Yep. But okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna cut this episode here. I think that's a good segue to leave things off. I know it's kind of a little bit short, but like I said, it's a good place to leave it off. I think in the next episode we'll find out for sure whether this reporter was directly involved or he was just lucky, maybe. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on to stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!